do you think you're doing?
Karen shouted, storming up to me and snatching the box of decorations I had just pulled from the trunk. Her voice was full of fury, and her hands were trembling with rage.
I won't forgive you for this.
Before I could even register what was happening, she was already pushing me, knocking the box from my hands. The decorations scattered on the ground and she stood there, blocking my way, her eyes wide with fury. "Karen, have you lost your mind?" I shouted, trying to step around her to grab the box, but she shoved it further out of reach, her face flushed with anger.
Listen,
She sneered.
I'm not going to tolerate your chaos anymore. You're not the only one who lives here. If you want to stay, you'll have to follow my rules.
I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. The situation was spiraling out of control, and I knew I had to stay composed. And then she said it, the line she always used when she wanted to regain control. Now, let's go over it step by step. Before Karen made her dramatic appearance, I had inherited the land, a dilapidated house on a spacious plot. It had been abandoned for years, but now it was mine. I had been living there for a while, slowly fixing things up. The first thing I wanted to do was build a fence around the yard for some privacy. It was a simple project, not meant to start any trouble. But Karen wasn't just any neighbor. She was the self-proclaimed queen of the block, the kind of person who thought she ruled everything around her. She liked to have control over everything, and that included my property. When I began putting up the fence, she appeared almost immediately, her face twisted with anger.
What's this nonsense?
She demanded.
Who gave you the right to put up a fence here?
I paused, hammer in hand, unsure of what to say. I did, Karen. This is my land. I have the papers to prove it. But she wasn't interested in the facts.
You can't just build a fence like this. This is public land. This path here belongs to everyone and you're blocking it.
I explained again that this was my private property, and the fence was set up well within my boundaries. But Karen wasn't listening.
This is a public access route.
She yelled, her voice escalating.
You're breaking the law. I'll make sure you're reported.
Her hysteria was becoming more and more evident. I stayed calm, trying to defuse the situation. Karen, this is my land. I'm not doing anything illegal. Why don't you just calm down? But Karen wasn't calming down. She was spiraling deeper into outrage. And I knew then that there was no reasoning with her. She had already decided that I was in the wrong, and nothing was going to change that. Just when I thought the situation couldn't get worse, Karen ran back to her house and returned with a large metal rod. She slammed it into the ground near my fence and began marking the area, shouting about her rights to the neighborhood.
This is my neighborhood.
She screamed.
You can't just block off a public path.
I stepped forward, trying to stop her from making things even worse. Karen, I'm not trying to take away your space. I just want some privacy. Please, leave my fence alone. But she wasn't listening. Her eyes were wild with anger, and I could see she wasn't going to back down. I was about to call the authorities when I heard sirens in the distance. 2 police cars pulled up, and Karen immediately ran toward them, waving her arms.
Waving her arms, this man is blocking public land.
She cried. I calmly explained the situation to the officers, showing them the documents that proved I owned the land. After a brief review, they turned to Karen. Ma'am, this is private property. You need to leave. Karen stood there stunned. She tried to protest, but no words came out. She was defeated, unable to do anything. As the officers left, I took one last look at Karen. She glared at me, but there was nothing more she could do. I bent down to pick up the box of decorations and set it back down on the sidewalk. The battle had been won, but I knew Karen wasn't done yet. This wasn't the last time I'd have to deal with her. For now, though, I could finally get back to what I had started.